Y'all thought y'all did something with a cat eye, baby. Do a fox eye. Do the liner look. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation when you done tapped into fox eye and the liner. Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm Minksbyv, and in my video today I'm going to be doing another unboxing. I got this package from London Lash, starting with glue, the Flexi Lash Adhesive. So this product has a 1 second drying time, and then it also has a humidity range of 40 to 70%, including a temperature range of 64 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up until 71 degrees Fahrenheit. So now we have Royal Bond, and Royal Bond has a 0.5 to 1 second drying time. On top of that, the room humidity can be 30% up to 80%, and the room temperature can be 64% through 71%. So Lady Bond, this one is very strong. It has a 1 to 2 second drying time, 50 to 65% room humidity, and then room temperature needs to be also 64 to 71%. Basically work within like a consistency of like the same temperature, but the humidity fluctuates. Also the half second drying time, 1 second drying time, and a 2 second drying time. So that y'all understand drying time, just in case you don't understand drying time, right? Drying time basically means that from the moment that the adhesive makes contact with something, that's when it begins to cure. It's not actually dry, boo, like it's still wet. It hasn't gone through the full-on curing process where it has completely hardened from the inside and the outside. So in order for you to combat that and speed through that process so your customers don't leave with like red eyes or their eyes aren't burning after they open them, you want to work with some products like a bonding and a sealing solution. So this brand also has products for after application. So you have a super bonder here. You want to wait 2 to 3 minutes after the application. Put this on the lashes so it doesn't burn after. This is booster. It helps so that the extensions can stick a lot better to the natural lashes. The main thing that this product does is make sure that the hair is high in alkaline. And if you struggle with picking up lashes off the strip, it's really good to get the lashes off the strip. And it also helps if your fans close, it'll help to keep your fans open. Always want to prep your customers. They give a primer. Primer is all about the cleansing process. This is where you're balancing the pH of the customer's lash hair. You want to ensure like the hair is too alkaline or not too alkaline. You want to make sure like that is balanced as well. And then you have your cleanser. So cleansing lash shampoo, always important to have so that you can be able to clean throughout the process beforehand and prepping. They have the foam based one here, but then they also have a liquid base, and this one is cherry scented, and I'm sorry, but I'm so addicted to the way this smells. This is a great product. Just make sure that you ask anybody, because this has a fragrance. Make sure y'all ask the people if they allergic to stuff, because you don't want people to be allergic to anything and you putting it on their face and don't even ask them, and then they have a reaction, you thinking it's the glue, and it could probably be that. A cream lash remover. So this is a cream lash remover, and then I'm going to take the lid off real quick. So this is the product right here. This is what it looks like. Oh, it smells so good. I love scented stuff. So we got some lid tape, and I really like working with this lid tape because a lot of customers come in and they have their brows done, and you can use this tape and you don't have to put it into their eyebrows. Now you're not ripping out folks' eyebrows or you're not messing up somebody who penciled in their eyebrows for the day. You just got to make sure the eyelid is not oily, and then this is going to stick real good. So working with these, I love working with these. Okay, we got 3 different variations of under eye tape. You got this one here. This is more of a thicker foam like tape. It does have a nice sticking to it. It's very gentle on the skin. Here's another style of tape. Under eye patches. So they have these Teflon under eye patches. So good under brown under eyes. I've been using these. They're like a gel consistency, so that's why it's like not open and exposed to like air. It don't dry itself out, and it's very sensitive and gentle on the skin. It's not like sticky. It doesn't stick. It sticks. It kind of stick, but it kind of don't stick at the same time, where like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's sticking to do what it's supposed to do. So let's move into these hairs. Y'all like color lashes, and I love color lashes too. This is more of their darker 1B brown colored lashes. I have been obsessed with working with color lashes. Y'all know anything that's a color, a natural color, we gonna do it. So we got trays for days. We have CC curl trays. We also have those in a black color. So this is the black one. I really like to work with L curl. M curl, because those curls look so good on almond eyes and upturned eyes. Because I see a lot of them. I mean, I see all different kind of eye shapes, but because I see those the most, like, I really like to keep those on hand because the girls be liking it. And no, you know what else to look good on? It really looks good on girls who have deep set sunken in eyes. I promise you, put a Fox Eye on her and listen. This beautiful magnetic tweezer case sticks. This is basically so that you can be able to house your tweezers inside of. Let's talk about some of these tweezers. Okay, so this is tweezer 43. It's best for making those volume fans. Then we have the number 3 straight styles tweezer. So this tweezer is basically great for isolation. So tweezer number 2 is also a more curved, straighter style tweezer. This is going to be great for isolation. Number 1 is a more versatile style tweezer. This tweezer is great for picking up. Then we have tweezer 22, which is a boot style tweezer. Then we have the number 42 style tweezer here. So a fiber tip tweezer is basically a tweezer that has an extra grip. Oftentimes there's a struggle with how much pressure to apply to the tweezers to grip them and pull them off. And when you know, you can't really distinguish that. So this is to create some forms of consistency. So we got this first one here. This tweezer is number 47. So you can see, like, I'm rotating it and you can see like the little grayness in the blade. That is where you can tell that it's a fiber tip tweezer. Number 46, same concept, the little gray area there. That is where you can tell that it is a fiber tip tweezer. Same thing with number 45. All right, so you can tell right there in the ridges of the teeth where it's grayish, that is the fiber tip. I got a tutorial that I'm gonna do for y'all and show y'all how y'all can use these products. Really show the consistency. How dope would it be if we can recreate this look? This is a great look for someone who is looking to try lash extensions for the first time. So we're gonna jump right into it. I'm going to be taping the bottom lashes down. You want to tape down the bottom lashes because you don't want to get them stuck to the top lashes when you're applying the extensions. I like to use this particular under eye patch on her particular eye shape, which she has sunken in eyes. However, her eyes also protrude. So she has more of a round eye shape profile. Because of that, using these will be really easier on anyone who has more of a rounder eye, just because it takes the format of rounder eyes. So that's why I really liked working with this gel patch. It was really easy to put on. It didn't hurt the customer after peeling it off when we finished doing the lashes, and it didn't lift when we were actually applying the lash extensions. This is the tweezer case that I am using to house all the tweezers. I just started using a tweezer case to protect my tweezers simply because it's always good to keep them sanitized, storaged away, and out of reach, and also so they don't get damaged. The eye look we're creating today is called the Fox Eye, applying lengths 9mm all the way up until 12mm. So first step you want to do is prep. You want to make sure you put the tape on top of the lids to pull them up towards you so that you can get a good grip. And then you want to go ahead and draw out your map. I'm going to be taking the Flexi Lash Adhesive from London Lash, and let's go over the properties of this adhesive. So it has a drying time of 1 second. The humidity is 40 to 70%, and the temperature is 64.4 to 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When you're working with lash adhesive, keep in mind never to go through the ridges of your glue ring, especially if you are a beginner artist. Reason being is because when we talk about drying time basically means that this product does not start curing until it touches something. So the moment it goes swipe through that glue ring, it starts to cure and seal itself off, which is why you may struggle with attaching it to a natural lash. So to avoid that, go straight from dipping straight to the natural lash. Do not swipe on top of an eye patch or anything like that. Doing so is going to save you on product and it's going to save you on time. These are the lash hairs that I'm going to be working with, which is the Mayfair collection. And this is the black and brown hairs in L curl using 0.5. And I'm taking the lengths of 9 through 12 millimeters. I wanted to showcase the brown lashes because we're getting more into those softer, more natural, clean looks. And I wanted you guys to be able to see how brown still looks and shows up on melanin skin. And so that is why I chose to use those hairs. Now I'm going through and I'm doing a technique called isolation and combing. This technique is actually a great training technique to help you get more comfortable with isolating the hairs, touching the lash line, and being more gentle, and also having a steady hand, which is going to help because this customer has semi-curly lashes. Now I'm left-handed, so I always tilt my customers' heads to the left when I'm working on the right side of their face, which is really easy for me to do because then it gives me a better reach and I don't have to stress my hand out. When I use this product, again, like I said, you want to make your fans, which I'm using the pinching technique, and you want to dip straight in the glue and go straight to the natural lash. Now, of course, when you get into placing hairs, you want to be very mindful of where you're placing your hairs. You have to be very careful to look out for hairs that are in the anagen phase. You want to make sure that you grab the hairs that are not super short and super fine, only because they're not strong enough to handle the hairs. So when I picked up and made this fan, I think I may have grabbed about 5 to 7 hairs to put inside this fan. Now, I'm not one to keep all of my fans symmetrical and perfect. I believe that's where most of the craftsmanship comes in the artistry, when you're hand making your fans and create texture, more fluffiness, more density. Hand making fans makes for a better attachment versus pre-made and pro-made and easy fan lash hairs, because at the base of those, they're already sealed off, so you don't have much room and you're relying on using really good quality product adhesive so that it can stay on for a longer time period. Whereas if you're hand making your fans, you don't really have to worry about if the lash hair is going to pop off, because you can easily attach it better and wrap it to the natural lash. Also, keep in mind, you want to make sure when you're dipping into the adhesive, you don't have any bubbles at the base of your needle-like fan. Keeping your glue in rotation and not spending more than 15 minutes of using that adhesive drop. This particular placement structure, I chose to place it on top. Now, next, I'm going to show you guys how much more dense it looks now that I have applied quite a few of the hairs. So you can already see the tail is beginning to form matte. You can already see some of the lashes are starting to curve together. And now you're going to see me again go in and place more extensions, making sure that I'm staying within my quadrants of what length I am using so that I can gradually place these and you can see it go from short all the way to long. This time I chose to place the hair on the side. Again, when you're isolating, when you're applying lash extensions, you don't have to follow only one rule. It's very helpful if you can go in and identify if that hair is pointing in a direction where you deem it as best for you to place it, you go ahead and you place it. So again, I chose to place this one on the side. And then what I typically do is I like to let hairs sit and take their time to dry down so that I don't get sticky. Stickies can be prevented if you don't do things like lashing side by side. Now, as you guys see here, I've been doing a lot of lashing side by side, and that is why you see me taking 2 tweezers and I'm trying to isolate and separate hairs that I may have gotten stickies on. What I recommend you to do is when you're applying lash extensions, try to leave about 3 hairs in between the space so that you can be able to place it properly and not get a sticky. And now you see me here again. I am doing bottom placement, and that is where I'm taking the lash and I'm going underneath the natural lash hair, and then I'm going to come up towards me and place that hair. And see again, more stickies are happening. So keep in mind to not lash side by side because this is going to eat at your time. Another thing, my customer is moving a lot in the video. Try not to converse with your customers. Try to keep them as still as possible because that is another way that you can get stickies. Your work can get messy and then you can run into issues like eating away at your time and you have to work backwards over the hard work that you've already done. I typically like to go through and brush hairs and separate again just to see how the actual design is formatting towards the eye, and then also to keep my look nice and clean and to also ensure that there are no hairs that are like dearly hanging on for bare life, and they haven't sealed themselves all the way to a natural lash, and they're gonna fall off. And then once you guys see, I'm going to continue to repeat the same things, placing hairs and keeping space in between where I'm placing those hairs. Now, so there are going to be some sections where there is a lot of hair. You place a hair and then you go over to another section. Now, when you're creating the fox eye, this eye is pretty unique, typically because it's only half the eye. So when you create the lash map, you want to always start your first line at the beginning of your first quadrant, which is the outside corner, and then you want to do your last line at the end of the eye, which is the inside corner. And then typically you will draw your 3 dots down the middle, which will be in alignment with the pupil. And from there, that is where you're going to now, from the outer corner of the eye wrist, you're going to draw your numbers. So we did 9, 10, 11, and 12. So again, here I'm just going through cleaning up my work, ensuring that nothing is stuck together before I get into the part where I do my post application routine. It's really important to keep in mind to check what your work looks like from the front. So if you have a mirror, it'll be great for you to be able to look and see what your designs are formatting looking like from the front, because again, it could look like you put a lot down from the bird's eye view, but when you look at the front, if the density does not align up, then it's not going to look right. Another thing from checking your work from the front, you'll be able to see how that top line looks. If everything is nice and symmetrical, if you're following correctly, if you're using your numbers right, it will show in your work what it looks like from the front. Now, as you guys see here, this is what both eyes look like with lashes on fully and completely. All you need to do at this point when you're applying the lashes or you're doing what is called a density check is you need to make sure that what is on the left side also matches the density on the right side. I always recommend to lash both eyes at the same time. Don't do one first and then do the other. This gives yourself time for your glue to bond and become flexible. This also gives you more time to give yourself a break from one eye, moving over to the next, and it also gives you the advantage of being able to see, is it equally dense enough? Does one eye look like there is more lashes than the other eye? And how can I go about fixing this so it doesn't eat away at my time? So now, as you guys see, I'm just working my way through and I'm adding more lashes as I go. When you're applying lash extensions, you want to be sure to stay 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter away from the lash line, and nothing should be touching the skin. Always rotate your glue out between 15 to 20 minutes. I didn't really need to rotate this glue out a lot. It's always recommended, of course, to rotate your glue out, but this glue was working really well that I didn't have to rotate it out. It didn't get stringy, it didn't get gummy, there wasn't air bubbles, which made it a lot more easier for me to work with this product, and it didn't clump around the bases of my lash extensions. Okay, we're hopping into post-application. Post-application consists of allowing the customer to dry for 2 to 3 minutes, and then we go in and we start sealing the work that we did. Kind of like going to the nail salon and they did all that work and then they just put the top coat. It's going to be another way of sealing the lashes off so that they get that long-lasting retention that the customers desire. Thank you so much for watching my video today, guys. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments and shop the products. I'll link them all in the description below.